maybe in the end it was a good thing that I didn't go and study, for example, music, because I don't know, of course I have to guess, but I still see and listen and hear music as a really fresh thing. So it's not kind of, I haven't gotten in too deep to it in some sort of a way. So it's still 100% passion for me, more than a profession, even though I make my living or pay my rent with the help of music. But it's still, I've been able to keep it as a huge passion for myself. But anyway, so we are in 2001 now, and I moved to Jyväskylä to study.
So when did Steve N Seagulls come into picture?
Well, in a way, already in 2002. I mean, the band was not even formed at that time, but I met Hiltunen, our accordion player. I think it was 2002 or 2003 or something like that. Well, actually, I think it was 2000. It must have been a few years in when I moved to Jyväskylä. But anyways, early 2000 and something. I don't even remember where we met the first time, but a guy who was later my roommate, who was probably one of the first guys I met first people I met in Jyväskylä, ended up studying the same subject as our accordionist, which is music education. So that's how I met Hiltunen, and I don't know, somehow we started to spend more time in the same groups, and we were playing NHL games and drinking beer and having a good time studying in Jyväskylä. And he was already playing music professionally, Finnish dance music and stuff like that. And I think it was 2000 or 2001 when we formed this blues group with a couple of people from Iisalmi and a drummer. They were studying in Kuopio at that time. So at the time when I moved to Jyväskylä and when I was living there, we were playing kind of a traditional blues and rhythm and blues and rock and roll music with a couple of friends of mine, and traveling around Finland playing that stuff in bars and pubs and different biker festivals and stuff like that.
And Hiltunen was part of that?
No. That was I kind of mixed those two things. No, Hiltunen wasn't part of that. It was just when you asked about Steve N Seagulls. I actually started to play and sing in Steve N Seagulls at 2014, but I think the first step towards that was when I met Hiltunen early 2000 and maybe 3 or 4.
Okay.
But at that time I was playing totally different kind of music, electric blues or acoustic blues music with Sampo. I think you know him from Iisalmi.
Yes.
Amazingly talented guitar player who is probably, I would have to say, the best guitar player or musician I've ever played with. So
nice.
We were doing different kinds of gigs with him at that time, from blues from the 1930s to late 90s, all kinds of different, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Jimi Hendrix, Robert Johnson, stuff like that.
You were singing. Did you play guitar too?
At first I was singing and playing guitar, but then our bass player, Pasi, who was also originally from Iisalmi, he quit the band and he had to, I think he went to play bass for this Finnish dance music singer or something like that. So we were lacking a bass player, so I picked up the bass guitar and started to learn how to play that. And so we ended up touring as a trio, and I was playing bass guitar and singing. So that's when I learned to play bass guitar too, which was kind of helpful later on.
Cool. And you started Steve N Seagulls well, you joined them 2014.
Yeah, the band was formed 2010 as a side project by the 4 other guys. They were playing as a group in nightclubs and cruise boats between Finland and Sweden or Finland and Estonia.
I guess covers.
Yeah, they were sort of playing all kinds of music, dance music and pop and rock and stuff like that. Also, at that time, at least 2 or 3 of the guys had other bands too, which were playing originals, and we actually played in the same band with the bass player and the banjo player. We had a band that we played originals. It was like pop or rock music with a little flavor from grunge, and the vocals were in Finnish. I played actually drums in that band.
Oh.
And there was this 4th guy who was playing rhythm guitar and lead vocals. So that's when I got to know Pukki and well, actually, I think I knew Pukki earlier, our bass player, but I also got to know our banjo player better at that time.
Yeah. So were they playing the hillbilly stuff when you joined them?
Yeah, when they formed the band, Steve N Seagulls, at 2010, it was maybe leaning a little bit more towards spaghetti western and stuff like that. But there was also a lot of flavor from bluegrass and hillbilly music. But maybe they were headed towards more acoustic appearance at that point when I joined in. And maybe during the year 2014 we cut back on the electric instruments, the electric guitar and stuff like that, and started to perform mainly with acoustic instruments.
Do you know where the original idea for that came?
Actually, I think they were asked to perform in these, maybe I would say 10 restaurants. They were asked to do something involving sort of spaghetti western theme. So it was kind of a theme thing at the beginning. So that's how it got started.
So like Ass Chain or something like that. Ass Chain. That chain of restaurants, they had some kind of theme going on.
Yeah,
Is that what happened?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, and I think actually it was the S chain, as you mentioned.
Well, that's interesting that it happened like that.
Yeah.
So they were doing that, and then you...
Yeah, they were doing that,
Yeah.
and there was a 5th guy involved, and as they say in the bands, they grew apart.